hello there. So, it seemed like, you guys, whoever's watching this video, if there is anyone, liked the last Rise of Nations video. So I decided, why don't I make another? So, today, I'm just gonna be trying to show you guys how to play the game if you haven't already played it. So what I recommend, I'm playing as Germany, so I start out with two things of troops, which are 90k and 90k. Now, so let's see. So what I recommend doing first is move your troops if you have some on your capital, and click on your capital, which your capital has a star in it. Then go over here, click units, and build maybe, if you have enough manpower, maybe build about 9-10 infantry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now you can just wait for that to be created. Now, while you wait for that, what I recommend is, so let's say you want to go to war, or you want more land. You would click on the land you want to invade, which, for example, Belarus. Click on a city, go to their flag, which is here, go to justify war goal, and click conquest. These two, really, I'm pretty sure this makes them a puppet state if you win. I don't know. Liberation is as if they took over some land that you had and you wanted to take it back. That's liberation. But I recommend conquest, and it only takes 75 days to normally justify. So, justify war. You're just gonna have to wait 75 days. Now, while you wait there, these are little messages and choices you can do. So, let's see. National monument. Construct a really big national monument, and so it takes away money, but it gains 5 stability. So I recommend accepting that. And there's tons of those, but anyways, so while that happens, as you see, our infantry has been created. So what we can do with this infantry is make it go towards the, let's say, country we're going to invade. Now, you see this thing next to your mouse? It says severe winter. So currently it's December 7th. So it's severe winter. Now, as you can see, the troops are pretty slow. Now, the reason for that is because they're not specialized for winter, and they're weaker during winter. Now, let's take this infantry, for example. So you can go start train, but don't click that yet. Right click and go to, let's say, winter specialization. If it's a jungle, then do jungle. Arids, do arid. Now, this will take a bit, and it can possibly get you into a small defeat temporarily, but that's temporarily, and then it just works. So that's what I recommend. Anyways, it looks like we have justified the war goal against Belarus now. So let's click on it, click the flag. Now go to declare war and click conquest, declare war. Now, what I recommend is getting a big force, let's say 100k, to invade the capital. So what I do is bring the biggest force and go to the capital with it. And with this other one, I recommend auto capture. And you just have to click auto capture and then capture all our Belarus. So while we wait for that, this force, as you see, is taking damage. That's because it's not specialized for winter, and it's rapidly taking damage. And same with this one. So that's why I recommend it. Do specialize your troops properly. I didn't do it because I really don't need to, and I want to make this video short. So yeah. There you have it, the collapse of Belarus. So we took over Belarus. So now, after you do this, you click on the flag down here, which is German Belarusian annexation war. Negotiate terms. Now, what I recommend, so annex cities, seize state treasury, seize state resources, demand war reparations, and do this for, I recommend 5 years and 25% and 75% for these. But if they, let's say, decline, I'd recommend, let's get going 60, like this. But I'm going to do 75 for this. And as you see, we seized the resources. And this peace treaty, yeah. Now, that's pretty much the basics of the game. But another thing is what says down here, technology. So, if you click on your flag down here, you can edit all sorts of stuff, like country. So this says all the things you can create out of your country. Like, you can expand your influence overseas as Germany, and you can create the German Empire, or the Frankish Empire, or the European Union. All sorts of stuff here. I've done personally all of these, but yeah. So now, so you can also go to policies, and there's all sorts of other videos about this stuff, so I recommend going to watch those, because even I don't know much about all of the policies. But then you can go to diplomacy, which is pretty much how you can search up countries, which, let's say, for a small, let's say, for this, this is called Luxembourg, which I figured out. So I recommend, since there's infantry there and you can't really click on it very well, I recommend going to diplomacy and searching it up. Now here is the economy, which is very, very important. So trading. You can go to resources and trade. So let's say, see all this stuff? Let's say we need some oil. We can trade for some on Saudi Arabia. So let's say I want 5 oil. You can buy bulk, which I recommend, or buy, which you can buy it every 5 days, but that depletes my money. So I recommend buy bulk. And you can also sell, but I don't do that much. So let's say buy bulk, and they accept. And when you sell, you can also increase the price modifier, and you can do the same for buy bulk. So let's say 1.2, sell bulk. Let's see. They might decline, which is pretty much common when you don't have it as 1. And they declined, like I said they would. So I recommend just doing 1. But yeah. So that's how you can do that. Now, then there's war reparations. It's pretty much just, let's say money you get from to repair your things and recover from a war. Treaties. That's mainly for like puppet states. You can get money from that. So, which is here, puppets. Now, anyways, then reinforcements. It's pretty explainable. So pretty much, let's say your troops get damage. Then there's an option here called reinforcements. I have them on normally, but if you're low on manpower, I recommend not having them on. But it pretty much just heals them. Now, anyways, now this one is the most important, personally, to my knowledge, I think. Military upkeep. So whenever you go to create a troop, units, they have upkeep right here, as you can see. And all of them have this. Like artillery, tanks, anti-aircraft, all sorts of things. So pretty much there is a thing, but I'll talk about that later to help that. And there's also fort maintenance, where if you go here, you can build stuff, which I forgot to talk about this. So you can build motor factories, fertilizer factories, steel factories, electronics factories, aircraft factories, and mines, and sonar stations, uranium enricher silos. These are more for late game. Now, so steel factories and motor factories and aircraft factories can be really important because you need them to make tanks and aircraft. There's also a thing called civilian factories, which I recommend getting because it increases stability, though it does take a while to build. And airports, they're pretty self-explanatory. You can have your aircraft land there and maintenance, and then take off again. And fortifications, which is mainly what I was going to talk about. These have upkeep, and they also cost a bit. But then there's Develop City, which increases manpower and tax gain. And recruitment centers, which increases manpower by 25% gain. Now, anyways, back to the economy. There's research spending and government spending. These are also for mainly late game, where you can change these to high, maximum, all sorts of stuff like this. And taxation laws, which are, if let's say you're low on stability, I recommend going low or minimum. But if you're late game, you can go high, maximum. I recommend. So, but I keep it at normal. Now, anyways, now that we're done with economy, we can go to technology, which technology is pretty much really, well, you can research stuff. Let's say infantry improvements. Then you'll unlock these, so you can get these and these. Now, these are research points, and those can, well, get the research, and you can research stuff like this. What I recommend doing first is either going in research improvements, and standardized research objectives, or if you need money, you can go to economic improvements and tax collections, all sorts of these. But I recommend getting a tax collection 1 and some research, standardized research objectives. At least that's what I did. And there's all sorts of stuff, like for infantry, tanks, naval stuff, supports, otherwise known as anti-aircraft and artillery, economic, aerial, research, and political. And when we were talking about the government spendings and military upkeep, you can actually make those a little easier to stop. So I'm pretty sure somewhere here. Now back to economic. So pretty much you can automate production lines after you get these factories. Now these can make military costs, well, less, and I'm pretty sure it upgrades military upkeep by less as well. But there's all of these. And so we have the technology done and over with. Now we can go to the military tab, which military I don't use much, but you can pretty much upgrade your troops at that point by creating, let's say, a military group. So let's say invasion force. Create. You can use this, and I recommend getting a leader, of course, which would be army. And then you click on that leader and click the invasion force, and now they're the leader. And to add troops to the invasion force, let's say, you can go assign group invasion force, and now they're in the invasion force, as you can see. Now, there's also one last thing in country. Wait. So, yeah. It's stability. And stability and political power. Stability is very important for your country. If you have low stability, you could fall apart, and countries you have invaded, let's say, liberate themselves and declare independence. And you do not want that. Now, there's also a thing in policies where it's the Welfare Act, and it increases space stability. There's all sorts of laws that do that. Anyways, you can also upgrade stability in technology and political, which is here. Base stability, 4, 2, 7, all sorts of stuff. Now that's pretty much, I'm pretty sure, all you need to know. And yeah, enjoy playing Rise of Nations. Thanks for watching, and see you later.